Okay. So the first one.
It's like that whiteboard really isn't up there.
None. Let me just do this. All right. Give me the problem again.
I don't have it.
What?
X squared.
No, what was the original problem?
That's x squared over 8.
Oh, x squared over what?
18.
Plus
And minus x over 9.
minus x squared over 9 of x over 9 equals 1. Okay, that means y'all be quiet. Because y'all are not talking about math. 1 over 18 x squared minus 1 over 9 x plus 1 is equal to 1 plus 1. Factor out of 1/18. When you do that, you're actually dividing. Now, what's half of 2? 1 squared. So 1 over 18, x minus 1 squared is equal to 19 over 18. That's what you get when you go over here. And f of x is equal to 1 over 18 x minus 1 quantity squared minus 19 over 18. That's your f of x, your intercept form. My vertex is positive 1, and 19 over 18 is a little bit over 1. I'm just going to put 19 over 18. Y-intercept is negative 1. And I'm going to solve it. 1 over 18 times x minus 1 quantity squared is equal to 19 over 18. Divide by 1 over 18. Divide by 1 over 18. What do you do? Multiply by what? 18 over, what happens with 18? Oh no, that can't be right. X minus 1 quantity squared is equal to 19. X minus 1 quantity squared, or x minus 1 is equal to the square root of 19. Well, the square root of 16 is 4, so I'm going to say just 4.3. I have no idea, but go ahead and look it up. X is equal to positive negative 4.3 plus 1, which is 5.3, and negative 3.3. Somebody find out what's the square root of 19?
4.35.
Okay. It's close enough for government work. What kind of parabola is it going to be? Wide or skinny? Wide.
See.
0, negative 1. And 1, negative 1. Like that. And negative 3.3. And 5.3. That's it. So, if you see quadratic formula on any of my tests, any of my homework, ignore it and do completed square. Because I don't teach y'all quadratic formula. Okay? Question, gripe, complaint. That help?
Yeah.
Discouraged?
Nah, I just make simple mistakes. That's my problem. It's not the whole gist of it. It's
Now
just,
we'll have to do some more discouraging problems.
yeah.
All right, let's do another. Let's do something else. I think I got another question sent to me by email. Some student whining about some. I'm sorry. Some student had a question. I don't know which one it was. How's it good?
This was the one that was like the list of coordinates. It's like identify the vertex.
Hold on. Here's this. This is one I got. 2.3.19.4. 2.3.19.4. Okay. Use transformations to sketch y sub 1, y sub 2. Y sub 1 is x squared minus 4. So we're going to do a parabola. And x squared minus 4 is going to be a parabola at negative 4, right? Okay. This is where they're telling you to compare it to the basic model. So what does negative 4 tell you? Down 4, a vertical shift of 4. So look for your vertical shift of negative what? 4. Okay, that's y sub 1. Y sub 2, what does 1/3 do? What does that 1/3 do? Well, it's not only 1/3, it's also 1/3 what? So it's going to be 1/9. 1/9 means that you're compressing on the y-axis, or you're stretching it what? On the x-axis, because it makes it wider. So you've got to say, okay, well, that means this right here. I want a vertical stretch. No, vertical stretch would make it what? Skinny. Horizontal stretch of 1 what? 1/9. There.
You're still in the first one.
Huh?
It wants 3. It wants 3
okay.
parabolas.
So what I do here, just check.
I think it's 1.
Okay, this is not a test question, but the material is, I would not give you this test question because it's kind of cumbersome and aggravating. Okay, there's that. And then negative 4. Very frustrating.
Imagine doing 30.
There. You ain't got to do 30 of them. No, don't even go there. All right, now
25.
now do I do the next one? I did the next one. That's that one. And then the next one, 4x. What does that turn into? 4 times 4 is what? So what does 16 do to it? Makes it really skinny, which means it's a what? Vertical what?
Stretch.
Of 16. And that should be your answers. I'm sorry, what? Oh. Okay. I must have done something wrong.
You get used to that eventually.
What do you mean not supposed to square what? Bullshit. I'm sorry. Bull
I
crap.
remember getting all confused.
Bull crap. That's 1/9. If that's squared, that's 1/9. I mean, I know what you're saying, but they're wrong. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to edit that out. Of course. Yeah, maybe I should start doing cuckoo. I'll have to delete that out. That's 1/3. That's 1/3 squared. So if they're telling you not to put that 1/3 in, to put 1/3 in there, that's wrong. So we won't have this on the test. Just work through it on your homework, and I don't agree with that. This turns into y sub 2 equals y 1/9 x squared minus 4. This turns into y sub 3 is equal to 16x squared minus 4. So I don't know why they're telling you not to put in a 16 and not to do the 1/9 if they're telling you that. Let's do another one and see. All right, y sub 1 is x squared minus 6. So this and -6, and go down 6 places. 6 places. Okay, now the second. Take 1/4. So that means you've got a 1/4, which means it's being horizontally, it's got to be wider, so it's horizontally stretched. So that means we'll put 1/4 here, and a -6 where? -6 there. And then the next one is 16, and that's going to be a vertical stretch, right? It's going to make it skinny. And a vertical shift of -6. Okay, now mathematically, that's right. Okay? Use the transformation graph by checking when appropriate. There's nothing here that says anything. This is a 1/4 x squared. This is a 16x squared. That's wrong. This is wrong.
When I graph it, it's not that wide.
Well, that's what this is. I hate to tell
I
y'all.
graphed it.
Y'all all know
parentheses.
from pre-algebra that if you have parentheses around a square, that turns this into 1/4 x squared, right? Last time I checked. No, I disagree with this question. So if you can't figure out how to manipulate it to get the right answer, then come to me and I'll give you the points for it. Okay? Does that help? Because I disagree with this question. If you're not going to ask the student to do the math, then don't put the question on there. Put 1/2 x squared. Don't put 1/2 quantity squared and tell the student, oh, well, just forget about squaring the 1/4, 1/2. What they should do is just write it like this. They should say y sub 1.
And if they just drop the parentheses.
Yeah, if they just drop the parentheses, then everything will be fine.
I remember getting hung up on that.
That's an error. That's an error on the publisher, not you. So either manipulate it and get it right, or come see me and I'll give you the question. I'll give you the points, okay? Because that's an incorrect problem. All right, I think I had a couple more. I just got to find them.
So now I can tell my family not to hate me.
Why?
Because they hated me because I got that problem wrong.
Why do they hate you?
Because I'm a loser.
Oh, is that it? Well,
Yeah, they realized it.
all right, here's Mr. Did you just send these? Are you sending me questions just to take up time?
No, he's currently about to send you one though.
Okay.
I actually have a question.
He started to do his homework.
Yeah, starting to do your homework today.
Yeah.
3.27/2, 3.2. Okay, we'll do this one first.
Incoming. But this one I actually have a question on.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad you actually have a question on it.
Really? rather than just watching. He just likes watching you do math.
Exactly. All right. From the quadratic defined, blah, 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 just ignore all that. What do you need to do? Complete the square. Good job. You actually listened in class. The one person that actually listened. It's a joke. It's a joke. People, sense of humor. Don't be offended. I'm offended. Just like Iron Man 3, little boy standing on outside the bar. I'm cold. I'm going, you don't have it. You want to holler that? Takes off. Which I don't, not going to watch no more Avenger and Iron Man movies.
Someone probably said something about
Video that Hollywood put out, the two Iron Mans, the white Iron Man and the black Iron Man, were on there calling Trump a racist, which he's not. How can you be racist if you have a Jewish son-in-law and a Jewish grandson? How can you be a racist?
Yeah, I seen a thing where they done a Google
If
search.
anybody knows anything about racism in America, who is the most despised people on the face of the earth to a racist? Who are they? Thank you. And don't call them Jews, somebody might be offended. Jewish people. What were you going to say, Mr. Ellis?
I was going to say, I've seen a thing where they done a thing about, they searched on Google. Did you see that where they suppressed the results?
Yeah,
It was like,
when you put Hillary and you put emails or something like that.
no, this was about racism. They just typed the question, it was like, can a black person be racist?
Mhm.
And it gave all these articles how that's impossible. And it did, like, it gave several articles referring to it, and it was like, is there reverse racism in America? And it's like, you could tell they very much filtered the results.
Well, they do that with Hillary's negatives.
Yeah, that's right.
Google, if you type in Hillary's negative stuff, it won't come up. But if you
Yeah.
go to Bing, it'll come right up.
It's so blatantly obvious.
Yeah, it's
That's why I get upset about the debate. They're not a debate.
No.
It's just all in support of the left. I mean, it really is. It's like, let Fox host it. If you're going to do that side,
Yeah. P of x, you're a racist. Negative x squared plus 3x plus 1. There's three things in the world when I go to meet my maker. I said maker, I didn't say any particular maker. I don't want to offend anybody. When I go and meet my maker, there's three things that I can say I've never done. One is I've never been a racist. Two is I've never hit a woman. And three is I've never thought a man was attractive. Okay? Those three things. Now, there's some people that think men are attractive, and that's fine.
if you're a woman.
Those are three things that I've never done. I hope all of y'all think I'm ugly too. Okay? All right, so I know I'm gonna erase it, so don't worry. X squared plus 3x plus blank is equal to negative 3 plus blank. Oh, I just changed it. I just changed the problem, and you'd comment. There we go. And the pen's writing all over the place. Okay, we got a negative and we got a 3, so we should just go ahead and what? Quit. Negative x squared minus 3x what's half of 3? 3 halves. 3 halves squared is
There are also problems with that negative. What do you do with the negative? That's the
where? What negative?
like when you get to the end of the problem.
This just tells you it's opening which way.
Down.
Down.
Okay.
That's all it tells you. Y'all learned that back in chapter 2 when I was telling you about A. Y'all wasn't listening, but that's okay.
I remember,
No, you don't.
because I've done my homework.
Oh, whatever. You're still going to fail this class. 9 over 4. So that's x minus 3/2 quantity squared is equal to negative 13/4. Now at this point you may think, oh well, it doesn't have x intercepts. Yes it does, because you're dividing through by what? Negative, which will make this a what? Positive. So f of x is equal to negative x minus 3/2 quantity squared plus, I don't like doing this. There's your little intercept method, or intercept form. The vertex is 3/2, comma, 13/4. Y-intercept is 0, 1. And negative x minus 3/2 quantity squared is equal to negative 13/4. Divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. X minus 3/2 quantity squared is equal to 13/4. And take the square root of both sides, you get x minus 3/2 is equal to square root of 13 over 2. And the square root of 13 is between the square root of 9, which is 3, and 16, 9 and 16 is 7. So it's going to be right at 3.5. What is it?
325.
3 what?
325.
Okay, I just did it wrong in my head. X is equal to 3.25 plus 3 over 2. And 6.25 divided by 2 is 3.12. And negative 3 plus 3 would be 0.25, which would be 0.125 negative. So 3.25 negative 1.125. You got a 0 positive 1 right there, and our vertex is 1.5 and 4 through. Oh my gosh, what's it doing? It's opening down, which it tells you it's opening down. 3.125 and negative 0.125. Yeah, you're just doing your own math laws or something.
Well, if you got the square root of 13 over 4 is going to be a positive 3.25 and a negative 3.25.
Well, I'm going to do that because I thought that was 3.5. Square root of 9 is equal to 3. Square root of 4, and then 16 is equal to 4. 3.5 is in the middle. 9 to 16 is 7. Half of 7 is 3.5. 3.5 plus 9 is 12.5. What do we want? I knew it was wrong when you said that.
No, it's right.
No, it's
It
not.
makes sense because 4 times 3 is 12 and 1 is 1/4 of 4.
13 should be 3.6. Somebody take the square root of 13 in the calculator. What does it get? Say it one more time.
No, I'm talking about the 13 over
Well,
4.
why did you
I
throw?
took the fraction. That's what I'm saying is I took the fraction. 13 divided by 4.
What's the square root of 4?
2.
Why are you taking the square root of 4 in your calculator?
I'm not taking
You did. You said 13 over 4. You don't do that. You're making it more complicated when you do that.
obviously.
Okay, now that he told me the wrong answer, the square root of 13 is, what did I say, 3.6? So that'd be, when he said 3.125, I thought something was wrong, but let me go down here and fix it for you, since Mr. Ellis led us astray.
I gotta get it right more.
All right, so 3.6. So x minus 3 halves is equal to positive or negative 3.6 over what? Over 2. And that's going to be x is equal to positive or negative 3.6 plus 3 over 2. What's 6.6 divided by 2? 3.3, which is not going to mess us up that bad. And negative 3.6 plus 3 is negative 0.6. 0.6 divided by 2 is point what? So that's not going to mess us up. So Mr. Ellis leading us the wrong way would not mess us up too bad. Thank you, Mr. Ellis.
You're welcome.
And you should be able to answer any question. See, that's why I show you how to complete the square. Because if you know how to complete the square, there's not anything they can ask you. Well, some things they ask you is wrong, but there's not anything you can explain with completing the square. And you don't have to depend on what? The calculator, Hubert. That's right, class. All right, so let's go to the next question that's been sent to us. That's being sent to us, so take up more time. 3.2, 66, 13. A rocket is launched, a toy rocket is launched from Al Qaeda and ISIS. Top of a building, 143 foot tall, at an initial velocity of 183 feet per second. So we're going to take our handy dandy building drawer, 143 foot tall. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my handy dandy line maker, and I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to draw. Hold on a minute, that's not what I was going to do. You know how y'all can be a millionaire? Figure out a way for this mouse to work off my brain waves to what I'm thinking, and then you'll be a millionaire. Because I won't have to use this mouse. I just look and think about which one I want to click on.
That could be scary.
Yeah, it could. Something pop up like DA student in the back of the room. Shut up. Wouldn't that be bad? What? Yeah, I better stick with the mouse. So I'm going to put my handy dandy, I'm going to just draw this one down this way. And I'm going to draw an x-axis going this way. Give you a little bit of a, move this over. Please work with me. Okay, so I'm doing that for a reason. And we got a rocket is launched from the top of the building, 103 feet, at an initial velocity of 188 feet per second. Okay, so rocket, we'll take our handy dandy there's a rocket. And it starts off at 180 to blah, blah, blah feet per second. And it's going to go up, and whatever goes up comes what? Back. So we've got a what? A parabola. Now at this point, it's at 0 and what? 143. So I have no idea what we're doing here. I'm just thinking right now. And we've got, so if you wanted to put it in terms of pre-algebra, there's your x, there's your y. This point right here, where the rocket is at 0 and 143. So common sense wise tells you that this point right here is going to be what? Above 143. Okay? Now, I have no idea what the question's asking. I'm just setting it up to where I can understand what's going on, which is the first step of an engineer. Now, give the function that describes the height of the rocket in terms of time. Determine the time in which the rocket reaches its maximum height, the maximum height in feet, for what time the interval will be 300 feet. How many seconds will it hit the ground? They're supposed to give you a function for this. They have to give you a function. They can't just tell you to think up the function. There it is. Okay, they give you this function in the book. So you need to know that function. So I'll copy it. I don't know if that'll copy or not, but I'll try. Copy. Close. And I'm not going to be able, let me see if I can do this.
This is like physics.
Yep. But all it is when you see how easy it is, okay, I'm going to have to snip it. Well, let me try that. No, I'm not doing that. Let me get out of that. Let me snip it out.
This is where I go. Next question.
Well, actually, this is very simple. You can just about do it with pre-algebra. If I could ever get this stupid thing to work. I've had training myself. Okay, let me go over here, pull up snip. Okay, now I got to switch. I do this for y'all. I record all this for y'all. I do all this for y'all. Y'all know that, don't you? I stress out up here because of y'all. They're supposed to give you this formula.
Is one of these going to be on the test?
Yep.
Really?
When you see how easy it is.
But we knew nothing about it.
Okay, that's my fault. But I also give y'all a review day, and I knew this would come up. I'm trying to find, if y'all just bear with me, I'm trying to work this snipping tool, and every time there we go. All right, that's the formula you need to know. So I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to put it over here. I can't bring it in. All right, somebody copy it down. Have you got it copied down yet? You do? Okay, well, I can't bring it in, so I'm going to have to, I can't bring it in on the transparency. So I'm just going to have to ask you to give it to me. What is it? What does it say? S of T or something like that?
Yeah. Negative 16.
S of T?
I don't know. I didn't copy that down.
Okay. Equals what?
Negative 16 T squared.
Negative 16?
Yeah.
T squared.
Plus V. What have you said? 0.
V sub O.
Okay. T. Plus S of O.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. V sub O is your initial velocity. So S of T plus, what's our initial velocity? 188? What's S of O? Because you do physics and math. Oh, we should just not apply anything together, should we?
This is what we're.
We should just keep math problems math and physics problems math. And we can't do that because physics cannot exist without math. That's why.
Is it always in feet per second?
Hmm?
I mean, what if it's miles an hour? Do we need to convert that?
No, let's not get the cart before the horse. Let's just work with what we got right now, okay? Now, the reason I drew this like this is because they're asking you for the highest point. What's the highest point called?
Vertex.
You know what? We can find the vertex. Okay, now this is the time I ask you to use your calculator. All right, because we got to do S of O, and S of O, if you, for those of y'all that will keep on talking, y'all are starting to piss me off. Okay? When y'all come up here and ask me for a question, I'm gonna talk to somebody else while you're asking me a question and see what y'all think about that. All right. It says right here, where t is the number of seconds after the object is projected. And it should say in here, v sub o is the initial velocity right there. And the object projected upwards from an initial height of what? What's the height? 143. So you erase this. And that gives you your quadratic. Now take your handy dandy calculator and graph it. I'm not asking you to complete the square,
Okay.
so I'm gracious.
Yeah, I did that.
So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator. Let me pull it up eventually. Somewhere. And I'm not going to ask you to look at the graph. What am I going to ask you to look at? The table. 16 t, you can do x if you want to, x squared plus 188 x plus 143. And you go ahead and hit graph if you want to look at it, but it's not going to be way the heck up at 143. So hit table. Where's table?
Graph, second graph.
Second graph. Okay, thank you. Second graph, and there's the numbers you need. So at 0, it's at 143. Why doesn't it show the second quadrant? It does show it, but why does it start with 0? Because it's assumed that this is a real world application or whatever, and that you're going to be dealing with what quadrant? The first quadrant, because everything is positive. Distance can't be negative. Okay? So, unless you have found a way to make distance
I was about to say, please don't tell me there's one.
There's not. All right, so 0 at 143, and then what does it do? What is y? That means it's, what's it doing? It's increasing, up. Okay, so we got to find that point. So you can do that by hitting second, trace, and what are we looking for? The maximum, which is the vertex. And you hit zoom 6, maybe zoom 6 will do it better. Nope. What's the other one? Zoom. Let me look at zoom. There's another zoom that you can use. It's not zoom standard. Not zoom standard. Zoom fit.
Without going to the top.
0. There you go. So now I'm going to hit second trace, max, and narrow the field down by putting in a left value and a right value. My left value I'm going to make is 4.2. My right value is going to be 7. And my guess is going to be around 5.7.
When it says guess, what is it?
Just put it in the middle of the two, left and right bound. And there is your what? So what is the maximum in this case? The what? The vertex. The vertex is always your highest or lowest what? Value. So vertex. So write that down, 5.87. So that's, go over to our pre-algebra board over here. So 5.87, comma, 695.25. And that's called our maximum. Now let's go back to the word problem and see what it asks you.
A lot of word problems are the hardest ones.
Because students, they see a paragraph and the first thing they think is, I can't do this. That's why.
The crazy thing is they're actually real life applications.
Yeah.
And they're the hardest ones.
Mm-hmm. And you're a loser.
Well, I'll do that.
Okay. Second thing says, give the function that describes the height of the rocket in terms of time. We've done that. There it is right there. The reason they say give the function, you've got to put in the 188 and the 143. You have to put that in. Determine the time at which the rock reaches its maximum height. At what time? 5.87 what? Seconds?
Yeah.
It reaches a height of 700 feet. Okay, now C, I want y'all to do. For what time interval will the rocket be more than 304 feet above ground level? Now I want you to think about that before you try to make it difficult.
No, that's my specialty.
Yeah. What's it asking? I'm going to take my blue marker here. It's saying, for what time interval will the rocket be more than what? Where did it start? So where is 304? You know this is 700. So 304 will be somewhere in here? Well, it's going to be there. And it's going to be what? Over here, because the parabola is symmetrical, right? So there's 304 feet. So for that 304 feet, we take our handy dandy straight line maker and color it blue. Can't you say that all of this area up here, it is above 304 feet? Okay, so all they want to know, take your handy dandy straight line maker. They want to know what this value is, what the x is here, and what the x is here. So let's see, in pre-algebra, that would be, we know that this value is 304. So what is that? Is that x or y? Huh? So that means I got to plug in 304 for what? For y, right? Where's y? It's your
the last one there.
the one I just erased.
Wrong again.
F of x is a fancy way of writing f of t, which is a fancy way of writing y. This is y. Y'all remember me telling y'all all this stuff? Now, you can solve this for algebraically, or you can look up 304 in your what? Table. So we go to our handy dandy calculator. Table. Oops. Second table. And 315. Well, that don't help us. So what can we do? Yeah, you could. Or you could hit second function, table set, which is window. No. Let me see. Is it? I thought it was format. No. And type in 0.5 and hit second function table. Notice what I'm doing. I'm fixing it in increments. We still need 3 what? 304? We'll have to go a whole lot quicker. We'll have to get it down a whole lot. Second format. There's another way you can do it, and I can't think of it right now because I'm doing this. Oh, table start, 0. I messed up. Table, 0.5. Second table. There we go. Still don't have 304, so we need to take it down to 0.25.
I've done down to 0.1, but
Still don't do it. Or what we can do is go to second function, trace, and no, go to graph, and hit trace, and find 3, or closest thing is 304. The closest I can find is between around 0.85 and 1. 0.85 and 1. You could do that. There's a way you can find it, but I don't know how to do it on the calculator. And I still think you should be able to get it with format, or not format, but second function table set. And you went down to 0.25. So 0.025. Second table. .925 is 303, so go one more. Second format, or second table set, and what's less than 0.0012? Second function table, or table, which table is? You should get pretty close with this one. If you ever get there. Usually the question asks you a number that's easy to find. This one is kind of hard. Yeah, but I don't know which way. I don't know how to do that because I haven't done it. Never had to do it Never had to do it because usually they give you a number that's pretty simple. We're at 173. It'll take us half a class to get there. We'll get there eventually. But then you could do it algebraically. And that's when I would suggest that you probably, well, we could do it. I'll do it here in just a second. I'm at 200. Well, 195. I wonder if you could actually do
Is there a way you could put it in your formula?
I know how to do it.
We'll
I'm so
subtract the
smart.
304.
No, I'm so smart. Put the 304 in. I'll show you how to do it in just a second. I want to get 304. See how close I got with the 0.000125 or whatever I punched in. I'm at 230. I can hum this thing goes slow. Remember, it's between 0.85 and 1, so we're getting there slowly. I know. Let's just do that. Second table set 0.85. Second table. Okay, 300. We're getting to 300, y'all. Yay! 302, 303, 304. Oh my gosh, look at there. 0.93. So let's find the other three. I meant the other 304. So we're going up. We're going up. It's going to take us forever. So I don't know. Let's say that that's point. I don't know what this is. We know this is at 5. So from 5.85 to 5 is 5. So 5 plus 10.85. So let's go to 10.8. And let's see what it looks like. Alpha or shift. And let's go to what I say, 10.8. Yes, Hubert. No, Hubert. Table set. Table. Up. Too far. Oh, we're still going. Okay. That's up, up, comes down, comes down, comes down. 307, 306, 305. Oh my gosh, look at there, 10.82. So you can find it with the table. The other way you can find it, I think, is to hit second, calculate.
And the value, it'll let you put in the X, but it won't let you do a lot.
I was thinking 0, but no, I don't think you can do it because you can't put it. Oh, you can put in y is equal. Here's how you do it. Y is equal to, and then type in 304 and hit graph. I'm so smart. And now zoom, fit. What was fit? 0. Okay, let's go. I was going to get this. So I'm going to go to see if it'll fit that in there. Barely. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit and go over here and get in the middle and hit enter. And then I'm going to hit zoom box. And you can use the window if you want to. I just use zoom box out of habit.
You can do a calculate intersect.
Yeah, now you can. Now that I put that Y in there. Okay, there's your, and now you can hit second, calculate, and intersect. And it's going to ask you, first curve is curve, second curve is that, and guess, go over here, and hit right there. There it is, 0.93. And then hit second, calculate, intersect, First curve, second curve, and yes, go over to the other side. $10.82. So I've showed you two ways to, well, algebraically. If you did algebraically, negative 16t squared plus 188t plus 143 minus what? Somebody take 143 minus 304, and you have negative 16t squared. This thing's not writing today, I don't know why. 188t. What does that come out to be? Negative what?
161.
And now you can do complete square. So that's algebraically. Find it with the table, and you can find it with intersect.
That'll be a nasty.
No, actually, you do one problem, you're fine. Actually, do the second problem, you can do it in about 2 minutes. After how many seconds will it hit the ground? Right here. Intersect, right there. Or you can hit second function, calculate, and that's your 0. Left bound, you know it's hitting right around there. You know it's hitting right around there. Go back, right around there, it's hitting the x-axis. And there is 12.5, comma, 0. What?
That's how many seconds it's in your head.
Yep. So when does it hit the ground? It hits the ground at 12 point what? 12.5 seconds. Okay, now that you got this, which they should have gave you that in the original problem. Y'all seen them, like you said, physics? You've seen them in the book. They usually put the formula with the problem.
Yeah, because it's a formula sheet. There's a formula for y max.
Yeah.
Find vertex using that.
Which is a derivative off of the quadratic formula. Probably negative b over 2a. And then f of negative b over 2a. Which again, you have to rely on the quadratic
I
formula.
remember David's question on physics test.
And it's also a standardized test question too. Usually they do a frog. Usually they do a frog off a stump. That's usually what they do off of a, on a standardized test, SAT, ACT. So, now that I've showed you how to do it, and y'all are losers, let's go ahead and try it again. And hit, oh gosh, I gotta hit the answers. 3,
Yeah,
3,
type in the whole equation.
3. I'm just getting out of it. So I hit similar question. Oh my gosh.
If you just hit question and do help me solve this and then cancel it and give you the
Thank you. But I have to answer all the questions.
just hit close. Just hit close.
I've hit that so many times.
Okay, there you go. All right, knock this one out. And that way you'll have 2 in your notes. So you won't be complaining about me. You're going to complain about me anyway, aren't you?
This one I have picked out in the ditch I was going to do.
What about the box? You got to get a box too.
Got a refrigerator box.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know that I'm up to that level.
You can actually make a condo out of a big box. Oh my gosh. The parents of 2 of the Benghazi attack the 2 SEALs, no, 1 SEAL and the guy that worked there, not the ambassador, but the assistant, the bald-headed guy, they're suing Hillary Clinton.
She's like, I'm used to that. No big deal.
Well, she just took the money out of the foundation.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much Saudi Arabia has given to. What does Saudi Arabia do to women and gays?
Yeah.
Pretty much. People are calling Kane the Joker. They say he looks like the Joker on Jack Nicholson's Joker. So technically you should do all this on your calculator. You might want to draw a picture. So you can, They should have had some bananas down there. That's what's missing.
Yeah, bananas are cheap.
Bananas are racist. So are potatoes. Sausage Party, they had a thing. They were saying that movie was racist because the potatoes were racist.
Did
And it
you?
was stereotypical that they made one certain Mexican. They made some. Who did they make Mexican? Was it taco shells or something? They made them Mexican.
Did you guys see that?
Of course. I mean, come on.
Well, where do taco shells come from? China? Because it's a comedy. I don't go see comedies.
Yeah, I was about to say.
The Jews were juice boxes.
Huh?
The juice. The Jews, they like juice.
The Jewish people.
You gotta quit saying Jews. Somebody will slap you. This is no joke. You know, there's two things I figured out later in life, like 2-3 years ago. One is chest of drawers is not chest of drawers, it's chest of drawers. I didn't know that until like 2 years ago. And when you say you're gonna Jew them down, that's really offensive. I didn't know that either.
I could see that one. That was
I didn't know it till
like.
like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm like, I didn't know that. And put that with chest of drawers. I didn't know that either.
What was the story behind this? Like,
Chest of drawers or Jew.
yeah.
Well, when you say, you know, I'm gonna go buy this car from this guy, I'm gonna try to Jew him down. That's offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but did you know that before I told you that?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I didn't put that together.
Shut up. Y'all are all stupid.
If you think about it like 5 seconds.
I didn't think of it. A lot of people don't know chest of drawers and chest of
I
drawers
didn't know
either.
that.
I always thought it was chest of drawers, like Chester the molester, you know, chest of drawers. I didn't know it was chest of drawers. I also didn't know that your shoe size is not in inches. A lot of people don't know that. Did you know that? Did you know that? Well, Of course you do. What units is it? You work at a shoe store.
I don't know.
It's just some number. People say, oh, well, my foot's 12, so I wear 12, so my foot is 12 inches. No, that's not right.
It's close though. It's gotta be.
I don't know.
close.
We'd have to look it up. Let's Google it. All right, so here we go. Since we've already got it in the formula, all we have to do is what? Hit graph, our y is equal, and just change what? 152 feet, that'd go right here. And what's the initial height? 148. And what's the vertical they're asking for? 328. And now hit graph, and there you go. And now you can find everything you need with your calculator. Now, Mr. Ellis, how difficult is that?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 6.7.
6.7?
You see, I'm still gonna mess up the decimals though.
Okay, you're weird, okay?
I mean, well, when I put that in, it's gonna come out wrong either way.
What decimals? Where?
Decimals. Like when you, oh my god, trace it.
Okay, what do you want to find? Let's find the vertex.
No.
All right, here we go. Vertex. Second, calculate.
You do not need to use the list.
Vertex.
Don't use the list.
Yeah, don't use it. Go max, here we go. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in there.
This would work generally, but I think my last question is that.
That's
Well,
what
I will be very lenient on the test. There it is. There's your max. Write down that. 4.75 and 509. Now let's find the intersection. Second, calc, intersect. And there's the first curve, there's the second curve, and then go over. Right there. There's your first intersection, 1.39, 328 feet. Second, calculate, intersect,
It was 1.39 and 28 feet.
328, right there. It's in the question. Work with me here. And go over here and put the guess over here. It's probably going to be 10 point something feet. 8.11. And now what's it asking for? When does it hit the ground? Second function, what? 0. Left bound is above the x-axis. Right bound is below the x-axis. Guess, right at the x-axis. And there is 10.39 seconds. When's the test due? Okay, I'll give y'all till Tuesday, and that way we'll have one more day to review. Since it's 2 tests, we'll go over one more day for any other questions that you have. So take the test, write down your questions, and come to class Tuesday and ask your questions. Deal? I gotta fix that test right now because I'm gonna forget it.